We've been looking forward to this interaction, and we appreciate your participation with this interaction. And we know that you have questions for us on this day, and we appreciate those questions. However, just for a moment or two, we have a topic that we wish to bring to your awareness, which is the topic of integration. Integration. And what we mean by integration is the integration of the higher self, the soul self, the emanation of source that you are, and the human construct, the mental construct, and the physiology, the body, the mind body. So there's this integration that is taking place between you, the soul of who you are, the essence of who you are, the authentic self, and the human aspect of who you are. And what's true is that you are in this age where this integration is becoming more apparent. But with that integration comes a degree of chaos, both individually and collectively. And so what we first wish for you to know is that if you are experiencing chaos on any level within your personal life, or you're looking out and you're seeing the chaos in the collective, we want you to know that that chaos is not an accident. There is purpose to it. And chaos is a prelude to your transformation. And the transformation that is taking place, again, is this integration. With this integration, what's happening on the energetic level is there is a shifting of frequencies, if you will. And the shifting of frequencies is taking place both individually and collectively, and in terms of your actual planet, Mother Earth. In terms of this sentient being, there is a shifting of frequencies. And so as this shift takes place, what happens is that the old frequencies that everything in your world was based upon start to crumble. Everything starts to fall away that is not of the higher frequency. And that's the chaos that we speak of. The other aspect to this unfoldment is that there are forces within your realm that are wanting to delay or avoid change, if you will, because this would mean that they have to surrender control. And they are not comfortable with that. And so you have this push-pull of the higher frequencies coming in, that higher light coming in and seeking to transform, mixed with or blended with this lower frequency energy that is seeking to maintain control or stop change. And that is the period or the phase of evolution that you are in at this current moment in time. Now, what's true is that many of you listening, many of you who find this content interesting, are what we would call starseeds, which is a description or a term for beings from other realms, other worlds, other planes of existence, which have already been through these types of evolutionary processes and which already hold and have stabilized that higher frequency. And so there are beings coming in, incarnating, seeking to help by bringing that energy, the energy of their home world with them into this reality and seeking to stabilize that higher frequency in service to the whole. So that is a brief summary of what is unfolding on your planet at this time. And it also explains the reason for this increase in starseed beings incarnating on your planet, but also these various ways of connecting with different star races that are off planet, telepathically, psychically, what have you. And so let us take your questions and see if we can't make even more sense of this particular topic.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here and being open to my questions. So that was a lovely message. And along those lines, I am curious, first and foremost, about who you are and if you have been going through the same process of evolution on the Andromedas that we are going through now, and sort of if you could say something about how long this will take. I mean, we're having wars, we're having so many horrible things happening, and from one perspective, it seems impossible that we are shifting consciousness and raising our frequencies when we are watching the news. And I know that from one perspective, that is one reality that you can sort of choose to, I don't know, believe in or live in. And we could also choose to live in another reality. But part of me feels that it's still going on, even though I would like to step into another reality. So to sum up the question, if you could tell us a little bit about if you have been going through this before yourself on your planet, and how that went. So sort of to hear if you have any more advice on how to handle this.
We'd be happy to speak to that, but first we wish to address this notion of watching the news, and we would suggest that you not watch the news or not take in certain media broadcasts that lower your frequency. What's true is that if you are watching the news or any media, even if it's alternative media, and you sense this lowering of your frequency, this lowering of your vibration, then what's true is that unfortunately your focus is on the old reality, and you are in a way anchoring that through your focus upon it. And we're not saying don't have your head, we're not saying have your head in the sand and ignore things that are happening. We are just saying to pay attention to the ratio of where you place your attention. So for example, if you were placing 70% of your attention on the old reality and 30% on the new reality, then what's true is that you are more engaged with the old reality. So our first recommendation would be pay attention to the ratios where you are placing your attention and seek to place more attention on the new reality. What's true is that the new reality is vibrational at this time. It hasn't solidified or anchored itself truly within this physical plane. And so it is more difficult to place your attention on something that is more ethereal or etheric, right? And so we understand the difficulty. But if you're going to engage in those broadcasts, those news broadcasts or media broadcasts, or anything that you feel when you tune in and when you're watching it, you feel that sense of dissonance, we would say, well, place a limit on how much of your attention you're willing to give to those broadcasts, because the way you are of service in the way that you intended to be when you incarnated is by placing your attention on the new reality, right? And so that would be the first thing we would say to you. The second thing we would say in terms of our particular collective and our unfoldment and our evolution is that you really can't compare our evolution to yours, in the sense that we do not hold physicality. We are what we would describe as light beings, and there is not even a planet that we are affiliated with. So in that sense of the word, there is no real comparison between our collective and yours, right? In terms of comparison, you could compare your spiritual self or your higher self, that aspect of who you are, which is the true part of who you are, would be more conducive to comparing to our beingness in terms of our collective being more light beings. However, we don't have to have gone through the evolution in order to assist you at this time, number one. And number two is that there are many different beings from many different civilizations that have been through similar circumstances to what you have been through, and they are interacting with you at this time as well. It's as if all of the beings that have access to you are collecting all around you at this time to be of service to you in different ways. And so we are being in service to you by beaming a higher frequency in your direction through various channels and in various ways. So we're beaming this vibration to you, and also through the words that are spoken through Karen and other mediums, other channels that help you see things differently, that shift your perspective. The one thing that is holding your reality in sort of this lower frequency state, the main contributing factor to that is your mental construct, your mind, the way that you perceive yourself, the way you perceive the world, the way that you perceive quote unquote others. These perceptions, these old beliefs are outdated and they need to be upgraded in order to be in alignment with this higher frequency. And so that is how we are being of assistance, is by helping you to see a different way of perceiving yourselves, of perceiving reality, one that is more in alignment with source energy and one that is on this higher frequency bandwidth, if you will. And let us just give you an example of that. One of the most dominant individual false beliefs on your planet at this time has to do with worthiness. Whether the belief is I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not deserving, or I'm not lovable, all of those mental constructs, those false beliefs are active in your mind, in your mental body, right? And what's true is that those thought forms are not true. They are not in harmony. They are not in alignment with your higher perspective. And so we come along and we offer a different perspective. What if you are lovable? What if you are a work of art? What if you are an emanation of source energy? What if all of this not good enough, these belief systems, what if all of that is just nonsense, right? And so by shifting the way that you think about yourself, you shift your vibration, you shift your energy. And as each individual does that, the collective begins to rise, right? And that is how these energetic shifts are made. It happens on an individual level through the shifting of your perception.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.
Resto maliata falia, tan shavra leto.